guys, guess what is happening today? Today is my brow tutorial. Hey Jesus, you people, this brow tutorial that I want to do today, yes, today is the day have finally come. And guess what? When I woke up this morning, I did not know that I was going to film a brow tutorial. I did not aware. But on the spur of the moment, I was like, you know what? Let me do this brow tutorial. Let me just do it. Because I've been planning this tutorial for a long time. It's been a long time coming. And one thing about me, I'm a perfectionist. And I like everything being in place. So I was waiting for a particular background, particular lighting, products and everything for me to film this tutorial. But today I was like, what are you even waiting for? Why not do this thing? Because we always say, if you want to do something, stop waiting, stop procrastinating, just do it already. And that is what I'm about to do. So I'm going to film my brow tutorial, my very first brow tutorial. Let me tell you people something. I don't know how this tutorial is going to go. I don't know how it's going to be looking like on camera because I have never done a makeup tutorial in my life. As in, when I say tutorial, I mean like video tutorial. It was back then on my blog. I used to do pictorials. Madam, do you know that I am filming? Keep quiet. So I used to do pictorials then. I've never done a video tutorial. This is my very first one. So anyhow you're gonna see it, you are gonna take it like that. But I'm going to assure you guys that in the future there will be updated tutorials. So after this one now, there will be more eyebrow tutorials in the future. All right. So I've already done this thing. I've tweezed my brows off camera. I don't wax, I don't shave, I tweeze. I use tweezers to pluck. I'm using the front of my camera to film this video. So, and I really want it to be close. I don't know what to do. I don't know if I should come closer because I want you guys to be seen. I don't know if I should come closer or if I should stay. You know what? Let's just do it. So, using my spoolie, I'm brushing my brows because I've already tweezed them like I mentioned. Hey, my scarf. I've already tweezed them like I mentioned. And I'm going to use my Zaron pencil. Yeah, it's Zaron. And you can see that I have sharpened it to a sharp tip. I like my brow pencils having a sharp tip. So I'm just going to go ahead because I don't want this tutorial to be too long. Maybe I should come closer. Anyhow, I'm sure you'll be seeing and I hope you learn. So, okay, first thing I want to teach you people is the points of especially beginners, that there are 3 points of the brow. This is a tip that is supposed to make it easier for you when you're drawing your brows, you get. So always bear this in mind. This part of your nose, it plays a very important role. And this part of your eye, this black part, what do they used to call it? Is it pupil or iris? I cannot remember. So now you hold your pencil from the tip, that edge of your nose, to the beginning of your brows. You see this part right here, that is point A. Now point B is when you look directly at the camera and when you cross your pencil from the tip of your nose across that black part of your eye, the point where it touches the brow is point B. If you want, you can put a dot there so that you can bear it in mind as a beginner now, like here. You can bear it in mind by you put that point right there. And then the point where, okay, from that edge of your nose to the tail of the brows, that is point C. Do you understand what I just explained right now? I should say it again. Okay, I'll say it again. Now, point A is where the pencil meets your brow from the edge of your nose, like so. This is point A right here. Point B is the points of the arc, because we know that the arc is the most confusing part for most people. So for you to figure out where that arc is, place your pencil at the edge of your nose and let it touch your brow. It has to cross the black part of your eye, don't forget. So that point where it touches your brow, where the pencil touches your brow, is point C, which is here. And then, sorry, did I say point C? Ndinkuzi. It's point B. I meant point B. That place where the pencil touches your brow when it crosses the black part of your eye is point B. Then point C is the tail of your brow where it touches from the edge of your nose to the brows. That last place here is point C. Oh, I can't remember the last time I taught somebody makeup. Oh. So, but I know that you people are understanding it because people are very brilliant. My viewers are very brilliant people. Okay, so let me just start. Now I'm going to start outlining. I'm going to start drawing my outline. And there, bear in mind that you should use light strokes. Do not use heavy strokes. Do not use a heavy hand to draw. So I'm now drawing the outline for the lower part. Don't forget that you draw it up from point A up to point C, from point A up to point B, which is the point of the arc, and then down to point C, which is right here. Don't make it too long. You don't want it to go and reach your ear. Okay, right here. Okay, this is fine. Now, after doing the lower outline, I want to do the upper outline. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to draw it up all the way to point B and then curve it down. Now, a curve, it has to be a curve. It's not like those people that used to do it like this, jam and jam. It will not be like an angle. Those people that used to do it like that. Is that how they used to draw brows in your village? That is not how it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be that way. It's supposed to be a curve. Like I just curved it like so. And then you bring it down to point C like this. And then bear in mind that where the upper outline and the lower outline meets at point C, it should be pointed. It should be pointed. Don't make it blunt. Let it be pointed. And then I'm going to start filling it in. I fill in from the tail like so. I fill in by following the hair. I just draw light strokes. Don't use a heavy hand. Now I stop somewhere around here because I don't want to fill in the beginning like that. So what I do to the beginning is that I use the pencil to mimic hair strokes. Like I just draw it to follow the hair lines, like the hair strokes, like so. You people can see it, right? It's not dark. It's not very dark. It's just light. I just use it to mimic my hair strokes. So I have done this brow right here. You can see now that there's a difference between the two brows up here. Now let's do the other brow. So I'm going to do the same thing. Remember point A, point B, and point C. I'm somewhat of a professional in drawing my eyebrows, so I do not need to bear those points in mind. So I'm going to do the same thing over here. Start by drawing the lower outline, light strokes like so. You draw it up to point B right here, and then you bring it down to point C, which is right here. Don't forget that if you're a beginner, maybe you should use dots. You should place dots to mark out those areas. Now I'm going to do the upper one, light strokes as well, up to point B, then curve it and bring it down to point C, and make sure it comes to a pointed tip like so. Now I'm filling it in. I'm just filling it in. Can you guys see? Can you see? I'm hoping to God that you guys can see what I'm doing. Let me talk like YouTubers. I don't know if you guys can see. I don't know if you guys can see. I know you guys can see, Sha. All right, so I'm filling it in like I did the other one. And as usual, I'm not using a heavy hand because I don't like my brows being dark. It's in that the beginning time when I just started doing makeup, early in my makeup career days, in the beginning of the long time ago, that I used to do it very dark. Hey, I don't know what I used to think that time. Now, the beginning part, the same thing. I'm just going to do it how I did the other one. I'm using my pencil to draw hair strokes, to mimic hair strokes. So I have drawn the brows. So now the next thing I'm going to do is to use I'm going to use concealer to sculpt the brows, which is what everybody used to do. So I'm going to use two products right now. I'm going to use the Zaron liquid concealer in medium. Let me focus. Can you focus, please? Let me do like YouTubers that they used to use their hands to do it like this. This thing is refusing to focus, so okay. Because I give up. It's not focusing. But just know that it is Zaron liquid concealer in medium, and the other one is Fenty Beauty liquid concealer in 410. Okay, this one has sense, it's focused somehow. 410. So the reason why I'm mixing the two of them is that one is lighter than one. The Zaron one is light while the Fenty Beauty one is dark, so I have to mix it to get the shade that would work for me. So I'm just going to quickly mix them with my flat brush. I'm not using an angled brush. My brush is flat. This is what is looking like. This is what it's looking like. So I'm going to use this brush to mix it. I don't know what happened to my brush. I don't know if it's rats that chop it, or or maybe one of my children uses us to cut it. I don't know what happened, but it works. It works for me. It works very fine. So I just finished mixing, and then I use this to pick up a little bit. I don't want it to be too much. And then I'm going to start sculpting. Biko, ignore my mirror. This is my mirror that you're looking at like this. Just ignore it. I won this mirror in a giveaway on Instagram like about 6 years ago. Okay, so let me not cover my brows. So I'm using this now. I'm going to sculpt the brows. So I like to start from the tail. So you have to have a straight hand for this. You have to try as much as possible to draw a straight and precise line. Just take your time when you're doing this. There's no rush, especially if you're a beginner, because you need to practice to make it perfect. I like to blend as I walk. So what I'm doing now is that I'm drawing an outline on the very edge of the brow, on the very edge. So I outline it like this, and then I blend out the concealer. Blend as you walk so that it will not dry. If it dries, it will be too hard for you to blend out. At a point, I'll go in with my fingers, because I like to work with my fingers, because the heat from my fingers helps to blend the product very well into my skin. So at this point, I'm going to use my fingers to blend it into my skin like so. You see how it's looking? Okay, so I'm going back in to make sure that the concealer line is not so obvious and is not so sharp against my eyebrows. You get? Just take your time. As with everything in life, practice makes perfect. You might not be a pro the very first time you try this, but just keep practicing and you'll get perfect each time. Okay, so I'm done. You can see that there's a difference between the two brows, right? So we're going to do the same thing we did here over here. We're going to try to make them look as similar as possible. Remember, they always say that your brows can be sisters. They are not twins. Even though there are some days when my brows end up being twins, and there are some days, my bad brow days, they end up being like sisters. Let's hope they look like twins today. So I've picked up product. So I'm going to try and do the same thing over here, starting from the tail as well. So I'm just drawing the line. Yeah, so the concealer has helped me sharpen the tip. It's always important to make sure that the tip of your brow, that's point C, let it be a sharp tip. A sharp tip. It makes it look good. I'm picking up more product to start from here. Normally I don't start from there, but I'm just starting there because, madam, stop shaking this bed though. Don't spoil my eyebrows. Do not spoil my eyebrows for me. Thank you, baby. So just going up to, I'm being very careful, guys. I'm being very careful. Sometimes one brow is usually very easy to do than the other one. In this particular case now, the other brow I did was easier than this one. I do not know why. I don't know why. I remember in those days of long time ago, in the early days of my career, I used to dread doing brows. Whether my brows or clients' brows, I used to hate it so much. I used to struggle with it. Each time I get a job, I'll just be thinking, Jehovah, please help me with these brows. Don't let me make a mess of the brows. But now, your girl has made it. Okay, so I'm done. I'm just going to use my finger to blend. Check it out. How you seeing this? How you seeing what I'm seeing? My goodness, this video is somehow long ago, but it's okay. So I have sculpted the lower part and I've used my finger to blend the concealer properly into my skin so that I can even wear it out like this. Now, I don't do the upper part of my brows. It's in the long time ago days that I used to sculpt the upper one. But people don't do that anymore so that it will look natural. But if you have to do the upper part of your brows, I would advise that you should use a dark, no, not a dark shade, like your very, the skin, the shade, the concealer shade of your skin, you use it to do the upper one so that it will blend very well. Okay, so now that I have sculpted my brows, I like to use I like to set the brows in place. I like to use this bump brow. It's called bump brow. I tore off the sticker, but it's called bump brow by Beauty Kink. So I like to use this to brush. It's a gel. I use it to brush my brows up and set them like so. Let me come closer. Yee. Okay, like this. So I'm setting the brows in place. It will just be like that till whenever I decide that I want to clean off the brows, that I am done, that it have belle me. Okay, guys, what do you think? The brows are pretty cool, right? I don't know, did you learn something? I hope to heavens that you learned something. This is how I do my brows. Every time I do my makeup, this is how I do my brows. I don't do the upper part. I use light strokes. I don't paint it. I use very light strokes and then I mimic hair in front. I don't darken the front because I always want to have this ombre effect. Did you learn something? Hey, this video is long ago. I'm very sorry, but like I said, there will be updated eyebrow tutorials in the future. I really hope that you learned something. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm glad that I have done this tutorial. We are gonna see ourselves in the next video. Bye.